So you Sagittarius have got the Five of Pentacles, the Devil, the Knight of Wands, the Death card, the Queen of Cups, the Sun, the Strength, the Judgment, the Star, the Tower. Oh wow, Queen of Pentacles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, 6 out of 10 cards of Major Arcana. Okay. Okay, we got our hands full. Okay. So the Five of Pentacles, the Devil card, and the Knight of Wands speaks to your connection between yourselves and this person that doesn't want to particularly let you go. See, people talk about, right? See, okay. The Five of Pentacles, you staying away from your past relationship partner, your ex. The Devil card, right, represents they're not really willing to let you go. Now, a lot of times people talk about the Devil represents obsession. And it's true, but they don't really tell you what type. I should say is the most prevalent. Yes, it represents obsession, but they don't tell you the particular type that the type that it's most akin to, what it has the most affinity for, which is like money, right? Riches, and if you catch my drift, right? That fun, if you catch my drift, between two people, if you catch my drift. Why? Because the Devil card represents the beast, a person who is so obsessed with that carnal nature to the point where it ends up being their downfall, because they can't stop. This is where for either side of you, Sagittarius, right? Whoever you are, this is why it is that a lot of y'all, I'm not saying y'all in particular, I'm saying in a sense, this is why it is that people could be in a relationship with somebody and they can't stop going with somebody else. This is where all of this obsession with seeking out people's bodies comes from. This Devil card right here. This is what it represents, because it represents a person not being able to be in control of their own physicality. They're ruled by it to the point where it's a pathology now for them, with something that they really got to get under control. So the Knight of Wands represents, this is how this person's slant is. This is their perception with you. A lot of you Sagittarius look really good. Really good. This could be somebody in your life right now, and they think you look too good, because Sagittarius be looking good. Miley Cyrus, if you ask me, is attractive. You know, Vanessa Hudgens, if you ask me, these are all Sagittarius, by the way, they are attractive. They look good. You know, Zoe Kravitz, another Sagittarius, looks good. Looks absolutely amazing. Looks amazing. Looks good. So, Scarlett Johansson looks good. So, this person is delusional because they're in your life. If not, you left them alone, but they still have that strong impact in your life. More than likely, they're still in your life, and you have to expunge them. You have to, expunge them. You have to get them out, because the Death and the Queen of Cups represents, this is a warning, because this is about how you need to not be caught up with these people that you've met, that you have in your life, that can't control themselves, and they're blinded by their own desires to get what it is that they want. I hope YouTube don't hit me for saying desire. But I'm not exactly as to what words, I should be saying. But anyway, so the strength card now represents, so as a result, strength is about how, but again, this person, they're caught up in what? The devil card. The devil card is very prevalent in this reading because they're caught up with that. They are the beast. They are what Aleister Crowley tried to tame but couldn't. And that's why it swallowed Aleister Crowley. This desire to, you can't control yourself. This is why, it's part of, well, not the entire reason, but part of the reason why Aleister Crowley went from being rich, being born rich, to literally being poor, having to ask the followers for cash. And the reason why is because of the beast. You're unable to control these impulses that you have, right? People who will be in a relationship with somebody where one of the partners can't stop cheating, can't stop messing around on their partner. And their partner, in all intents and purposes, is a very good partner. But at the same time, they just can't stop themselves, right? These are the types of people, Sagittarius, who, they so caught up with it to the point where, I'm telling you, it's an impulse, it's a compulsion. It's almost forced. It's almost like they can't stop themselves, like something is influencing them or possessing them, so to speak, to have to go out there and do something that really, in all intents and purposes, they really don't have to. But see, you have to understand, those Sagittarius, is that people are spiritually compromised in a real way out here. People are spiritually compromised. And what happens when you become, right, 10 life values? What happens when you become spiritually compromised, which is number one? The whole system now is fractured. It's a dub. So let's recap. A lot of you Sagittarius have this spiritually compromised person around you that you're getting to know, and that you know that there's something off about this person that is best for you to get rid of. Now, I'm not saying for y'all to stop hanging out with this person if the person really, doesn't have anything wrong with them. That's for you, Sagittarius, to use your own common sense to make that discernment for yourself. But what I'm saying is, if you Sagittarius really know in your heart of hearts that these people are dysfunctional, then it means that you should leave them alone. Five of Pentacles. You should scram. You should get right out of there. The Death card, put an end to this. Leave these people alone. Get as far away from these people as much as possible, because the strength they have in this issue, and they don't see it as a problem, which is a dub. And then you have the Judgment and the Star. So the Judgment and the Star now represents the Judgment, right? The Judgment and the Star now represents, but see, this is about, you're definitely on the right track, Sagittarius, because you're dating, you're getting to know other people. It's saying that you just have to be, this is, like I said, this is just another warning, right? This reading is full of lessons. These two cards here is just about the Archangel Gabriel trying to warn you of, how do I say, like, just pay more attention to pay more attention to the overall person and understand who they really are. Don't just pay attention to their potential, also pay attention to who they are now. And if they don't ever actually want, because see, what you're supposed to really do, right, is that if a person is not necessarily realized and they're moving on to a different reality, so to speak, a different existence, way of life, whole way of life, a lot of times people end up getting caught up with, should you be in love with the potential, right? Or should you look at the person as to who they are now? Honestly speaking, it's really a combination of the two. And what I mean by that is, Look at the person as to who they are now, while at the same time pay attention to see if they have any kind of potential. Because the potential lets you know if they are able to be redeemed, if they are able to be something more. So they could be a gangster. They could be, you know what I'm saying? And they may decide, like Ghost from Power, you know, and may decide, okay, I'm going to go ahead and change my life around, right? Now, if you're getting caught up with who the person is, you won't be able to see the fact that that Ghost is changing, right? But if you're getting caught up with who they are only exclusively, right, then you're not really in love with them. You're really in love with the projection of their possible future self that may or may not manifest, but technically hasn't manifested, even though it may be in the works. So you really need to be in love with both. And this is where a lot of judgment and a lot of keen decision making comes into play, because you have to be very wise. You have to be very astute. You have to be very attentive when it comes to picking people and making sure that these people are on point. It's almost to a point of accusatory when you really become very good with it. It's almost, I'm not saying that it is, it's because it's not. But it's almost to the point of it being accusatory, because especially if you are walking your walk and talking your talk, it's going to be very difficult for people to masquerade to be something that, or to be someone that they're not. And the Tower and the Queen of Pentacles now represents, so for you Sagittarius, to cut down on this stuff, to make sure that this stuff doesn't happen. Just pay more attention. But the Tower and the Queen of Pentacles represents, but you Sagittarius will, if you haven't left already, you Sagittarius will most definitely leave. You will leave them alone. You won't be hanging out with them too much longer anymore, because you'll see that this relationship between yourself and them is a waste of time, because again, they are in the meat grinder, right? People don't understand. People really don't understand how caught up a lot of them really are. That a lot of people are really in the clip off. That's why I was saying, go get the book, Clip Authic Magic for the Brave, because a lot of you in it. People don't, everyone's in it. But so many people are caught up because they're in the clip off, and they don't even realize that they're in the clip authic tree. What I mean when I say they're clip authic tree, they're in their own version of a cycle, of a karmic cycle is what most people call it, because karma doesn't exist, but in their own version of a cycle that they can't seem to particularly get out of because of their ego. This is what most people would consider the underworld, if you catch my drift. But how this relates to you is that you Sagittarius, y'all shouldn't, if you ask me, y'all shouldn't be putting yourselves around these individuals, because it will stunt your own growth, right? And it's going to make it that much more difficult for you Sagittarius to get to that person that you can actually get along with for the long haul. So let's clarify some of these cards. Let's clarify, let's clarify some of these cards. Let's clarify the Judgment. So to clarify the Judgment, we have the Eight of Cups, Ten of Wands, the Strength, which you already got, the Ten of Swords. So, all right. So the Eight of Cups is, to clarify the Judgment, is about how people also too watch out for if people around this time that you happen to be with and getting to know keep a lot of secrets. You know, if you're asking them about certain things that is conducive to the longevity of the relationship and they don't want to answer it, or they don't really give you details, that's something that you should really be paying attention to. The Ten of Wands, yeah, like I said, you should leave that alone if you realize that they're keeping secrets. But eventually, like I said before, in essence, with these particular people, you know what I'm saying, I'm already seeing it. You're going to leave them alone anyway. The Strength and the Ten of Swords now represents, so as a result, you happen to be in a particular situation where, again, but they're going to try to convince you to stay. Now, it'll be up to you, Sagittarius, to make that decision for yourselves as to whether it is that it's going to work. But they're trying to get you to stay because this is how people who play games do, because they're caught up. People who are active like that, to the point where that level of desire and wanting to seek out other people, that's a pathology. You see so many of these stupid people who get up on YouTube, and you could see it on them. They're influenced by that bestial nature where they're controlled by it. Basically, they live they live in their groin, and now they're influenced by that lower nature, so much so to the point where you got people arguing about type of stuff like that. But that's pretty much it for now. All right. But you, Sagittarius, are good. Just stay away from people like that, right? And like I said before, we go down on into these deeper layers so that I can teach you just how deep the rabbit hole goes. But that's pretty much it for now. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. I'm trying to make my YouTube channel grow to 10,000 subscribers, you know. As of right now, I have 6,660 subscribers. Anyway, and I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set that notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. Love y'all.